Computer Engineering from Bara University of Science and Technology. It's the same university as the System Support Engineer. Join me to welcome Tushabe Ronald to take us through the discussion of how he has made his journey fruitful using IT. Mr. Tushabe.
Yes, thank you so much, Madam Viola. I hope I am audible enough.
You are. Emma, please mute Colonel Jeremy.
Yes, maybe let me request Mr. Ronald to maybe turn off the video. Usually it affects the transmissions. So Mr. Ronald, if you can hear me, can your video like we just deal with the audio.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry. I think my network had just had jammed, but I hope we are on.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Viola and the team. Once again, I am Ronald Tushabe, the founder and director Empower Youth. And a few days ago, I won myself a big award as Techpreneur of the Year Africa. That is in the Founder of the Year Awards. So, and such awards are organized to recognize young people in Africa who are using technology to create entrepreneurship opportunities and contribute to the development of Africa. I am happy to be here meeting my friend, Dr. Richard. He visited us a few days, I think around, and he saw what we do at Empower Youth in Technology. We actually have an online television for those who want to advertise and host some of the programs. We have an online television that is actually the fastest growing in the region. Yeah, that's brief about me. So we are in this discussion that is very, very important, the role of youth in wealth creation. And in this discussion, I'm happy there is Kano Washaiza, who is actually the coordinator of operational wealth creation in Mbarara. And yes, we partnered with operational wealth creation as a Empower Youth in Technology to make sure this whole talk of wealth creation trickles down to the young people. When Operation Wealth Creation was launched, I think the main beneficiaries were probably the older people. But a few days ago, we have decided to work with Operation Wealth Creation to make sure we mobilize these young people to get involved in the wealth creation agenda. And I think that's why I have this discussion alongside the Kano Bashaiza, because that's what we are going to do. And the main Operation Wealth Creation is not only about agriculture, like Viola was trying to explain. It's about how do we get out of poverty. And now we are in this cause because we want young people to get out of poverty. So as I begin my discussion today, I want us to remind ourselves that young people are educated, just like Dr. Richard said. Young people are educated, they are energetic, they are informed, and these young people have information compared to the old people. But these young people have access to information. And we also know that these young people constitute 78% of the population, which means if it is about wealth creation, then young people must be at the front line because they are the majority. So, last year when we were celebrating International Youth Day, President Museveni said, modern youth must be one who is able to engage in wealth creation, helping their family, village, society, and helping the society to become prosperous. That is how Mr. Museveni described a modern youth today, that it should be that person is able to engage in wealth creation, helping their family, village, and the whole society to become prosperous. So now the question is, are young people today modern or they are not modern according to Mr. Museveni's definition? So in my view, yes, we might be modern or not modern, depending on what we are doing at the moment as young people. So today, entrepreneurship presents us with an opportunity to be modern. So if young people are able to embrace entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity, then we will be able to brand ourselves as modern youth according to President Museveni. Okay, what are we supposed to do? Kanobashaiza defined some of the sectors that young people are able to engage in. And in the same discussion today, I want to bring out same sectors. Today, we know agriculture presents an opportunity. We see tourism presenting another opportunity. We see ICT presenting another opportunity. Then we have small scale industries, which means if we have young people out there who are willing to create wealth, then these are the sectors that they can comfortably exploit. We know we might not easily engage into, say, transportation. Maybe it requires huge investments, but as young people, we can engage in ICT because it only requires your brain. The good thing we are here with educationists, and educationists will tell us that we go to school to acquire knowledge. We use that knowledge from experience to build skills, and from skills it will depend on our attitude to make it. So there are three things that will help you to move: the knowledge, the skills, and the attitude. But all of us as young people will have knowledge because we have gone to school thanks to free education, primary and university secondary education. We'll be able to get knowledge. But then that knowledge must be translated into skills. Then we must be able to use our attitude, to use knowledge and skills to build ourselves. So using knowledge, skills, and attitude, these sectors I have mentioned present an opportunity for young people to make it: agriculture, tourism, ICT, and small-scale industries. So operational wealth creation, just like Kano Washiza was trying to explain, has opportunities in agriculture that young people can focus on. But when we talk about agriculture, let's not focus on the agriculture we know, farming, but we have the entire value chain system which young people can explore. Our agriculture requires inputs, requires value addition, requires extension services, requires ICT. As young people, are we able to exploit opportunities that have been brought by value addition to create wealth? First of all, we know operational wealth creation has given out seeds, but maybe the biggest beneficiaries have been older people. They have, a few days ago, we are looking at women, at people who got tractors from government and have been able to increase production. So as young people, that is where we can come in. We might not go into real production, but we can support value addition. When our older people have produced so much of maize, beans, coffee, can we as young people come in and add value? Because that is a little bit easier for us compared to the real digging, because we don't have land. you're lucky if you have land, but if you don't have land, let's look at the entire value chain. Which opportunities can we exploit? Can we provide inputs to these farmers as well? Those who have studied agriculture, can we start consultancy services and support agriculture? Can we engage into agriculture? All these are opportunities which modern youth, as Museveni brings out, can engage in. Presents an opportunity. Then let's look at ICT, for instance. ICT has 70% of demand in Uganda. We have 70% demand for ICT services and products. So which means that itself creates opportunities, 70% demand. Most of these technologies we use in Uganda are imported. And Uganda has clearly the government has clearly stipulated we need to do import substitution, which means these modern youth should look at how best can we now do import substitution in ICT, because there is 70% demand of ICT services in Uganda. And also, this ICT is growing at 25% annually, quite huge. There is that growth. And you know, COVID-19 itself has showed us that young people less embrace ICT. Our old people might not, but us young people who are educated, it's our opportunity. Let's look at tourism. Same, I might not explain so much of every sector, but tourism is save COVID, because COVID has disturbed the sector, but it has been prosperous and easier for young people to get in. We are now talking about entrepreneurship, innovation, and creativity. Let's forget about looking for jobs and what, because those jobs are not there. That's why my talk is about entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation. And I'm trying to show us the opportunities available that young people can engage in.
Are you there, Ronald? As we wait for Ronald's internet to stabilize, if you have any questions, any comments, suggestions, you can drop them in the chat. We shall handle them at the end of the session.
Sorry, I hope I am back.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I was explaining all these opportunities that are available. Yes, we have heard of, I was talking of tourism, which presents opportunities, then small scale industries. And I think given a chance, Kanobashaiza is going to explain, in this phase where operation wealth creation is going and with parish development model, the focus will be on value addition, where young people will be at the front line. The operational situation want front young people to engage in value addition and create small scale industries in line with agriculture, because even National Development Plan 3 has highlighted industrialization as key component in increase household income. So young people will now have a chance to create small scale industries by adding value to some of the products that have been produced. Someone is already talking of matoke. Yes, we have so much matoke out there, but as young people, must we sit and say, yeah, matoke is there, there is no price? How? Yet we have gone to school, we have studied agriculture, we have studied computing, we have studied all these business administrations. Some of us have done masters and all that. Must we sit and say there is matoke, prices are low? Must we sit, yet we know we can create recipes, what wines, what out of this, out of matoke. So that is what we need to do as young people. And so we know for young people to succeed, there must be opportunities available. maybe we cannot give it to them. We cannot maybe try to blame them for not taking opportunities, but let us also remind them of the available opportunities which can help them move. Let's look at the government available opportunities. Kanobasheza talked about some of them. We have, for instance, Youth Livelihood Fund. There are some dynamics that are involved, but I am not talking about politics today, but I want us to avoid politics and exploit opportunities wherever they are, because we must be different. People are saying M-Yoga is a good concept if you pay attention, because an entrepreneur will not lament. An entrepreneur will say, where is the opportunity? Is M-Yoga presenting opportunity? Yes, if there is, exploit it. Because for the last 5 years, government has tried to create financial opportunities for the young people to get to grow themselves. That's why we see initiatives like Youth Livelihood Fund, Uganda Women Empowerment Fund. You see M-Yoga, and in M-Yoga there is particular youth group where you create a group as youth and you get money. There is a youth loan in Centenary Bank where you go get a loan at 1% interest rate. They will first give you 5 million. The moment you use it well, they will give you 10 million. All those are opportunities that have been created for young people to engage into wealth creation. However, yes, we appreciate that young people have been presented with opportunities in line with finance, but finance alone cannot work. What then must we do, especially us who believe young people must grow? There is now a question of capacity building. Are we able to build the capacity for these young people to create wealth? With capacity building, I mean, usually government makes a bit of mistake by creating financial opportunities without creating capacity. That's why youth will get money and you will never see them again and they will still remain poor. That's why capacity building is important. Let us train them. Let us mentor them. That's why initiatives like Empower Youth in Technology have been created. Because at Empower Youth in Technology, the number one thing before we even support youth is capacity building. We train them, we mentor them to make sure they know how to realize opportunities. After realizing opportunities, then that's when they can think of financing. So capacity building is going to be very key, and it is going to be part of every discussion so that these young people are able to realize opportunities. Another thing that I want us to remember is marketing. Are we able to create market opportunities for these young people? Because yes, we shall give them money, we shall build their capacity, but when there is no market created for them, then they will not easily succeed. That's why maybe policies must be favorable enough, and as well, young people must be sharp enough to create ventures that will easily attract markets. Because if you create crisps and we still import crisps, then young people might be a little bit disadvantaged. That's why creation of market opportunities will be very, very important. And that's why we have Kanobasheza in this discussion. Maybe these are some of the points as operation creation must note down so that young people are supported effectively. And as we are talking about wealth creation, we know young people might face challenges to do with market opportunity. Another thing that young people must be supported in is access to technologies. Technology is a way to go. We can no longer do things the way we used to do them. Before we set up anything and succeed, but today, which technologies are you using, which market are you addressing, those things still come in. That's why now young people must be supported at that we later create wealth for them. Very, very, very important, access to technologies. Then maybe as we move through all this, we must remember when we build the young people's capacity, we give them finances, we make sure they have access to markets and they have access to technologies, we would be able to move these youth from one stage to another. But then as we go through all this, mindset change will always talk. As young people are listening to this discussion, I'm telling them all this. Of course, they will need to remember that the mindset change is very, very, very important. So I'm just going to first conclude now, but as I conclude, since we have moves in this discussion, we have operation wealth creation in this discussion, maybe I could end with these 2 points that maybe one could depending on where you belong, you could pick out. How can our education system help these youth tap into entrepreneurial potential to create wealth? Now this goes to MOBS as an institution that has organized this. As we are talking about the role of youth in wealth creation, we will still bring this question to all of us today. How can the current education system, the way it is shaped, help youth tap into entrepreneurial abilities or entrepreneurial potential to create wealth? That one is a very, very, very key discussion. If the discussion starts from the university education system, maybe primary, secondary, then probably young people or the youth will know that it is important for them to exploit entrepreneurial abilities to create wealth. Then on the side of operational wealth creation, we will also need to start asking ourselves, how can the current government programs, especially these programs on finance, better support youth to utilize entrepreneurial opportunities? I thank government for providing finance. Then through OWC, these inputs, now the question will always be, all these good government opportunities, how can they be utilized efficiently support young people to realize entrepreneurial potential? Because like I said, my talk is about entrepreneurship and creativity. So how can then position our education system to help you tap into entrepreneurial potential? How can the government programs, especially on the financing, because they have done, in my opinion, be positioned to tap into youth entrepreneurial abilities? For me, those are some of my disturbing questions. So for as long as we are able to address some of these, then the question of young people creating wealth will be answered at some point. Thank you so much, Viola. I hand over to you again as we go through with the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronald. We are grateful. You have given us a lot. I hope people are in position to pick as much as I have picked. But one thing for the take home for those that didn't very well pick it out was about exploiting the value chain. At least gladly in the institution, Makerere University Business School, at a certain point, you do a course about the supply chain. So what he basically said was, you do not have to go to the garden if you are not the person of the garden, because to some of our youth, our background is in agriculture. And then when you come from the university with your degree, you feel like agriculture is for the villagers, agriculture is, I don't want to say dirty, but somehow below the degree holder. But yes, if that is your thinking, we are still here to tell you, you can actually exploit the value chain at a certain stage. Basically, you may not need to go to the garden. For those that can, good. So we are saying, how do you do that? If you are someone who follows trends, the trending business is brokerage. You don't own a garden, you don't own a shop, but you own your phone and you manage the two. So you can exploit it at that level. At this particular time, I'll engage our PR officer, Diaz, to take up the session of question and answer. I know the youth are there and they want to know something more from the discussion of Colonel Jeremy and Ronald. If you have any questions. In the meantime, before I invite Diaz, if you're out there and you think, you know someone who you think will have positivity on this talk, we are going to carry these sessions weekly. You can contact me or contact the campus director or PR officer, Diaz. I'll ask him to put our contacts. We can always pick out those people to talk to us. This is a session for the community, but importantly for our students. We are in the lockdown, but we want to tell you there's future. How do you do this? We talk to the people that have done it. We talk to the people that have done it before and are still doing it, and they can have light on us, because right now, maybe important to note before we go to that, we to Ronald's worry of how does the government, how does the education system, as an institution, we have IT for all our people, all the programs that you've seen if you joined in earlier to see our programs, all those programs are having an IT session or an IT course unit in their course of the stay at the university. And I need to tell you that that's how I get a job in the business school, because I'm an IT person. If we didn't have IT, maybe I would not be earning from this institution. So secondly, we are already doing some partnership write-ups with Wealth Creation, an impact assessment report that is underway or study. So we are trying to see how we bring this. That is one way of bringing the practical session into the university. And now that we've got you on board and you're in IT and I'm in IT, we hope to do better. I am not the speaker of the day. Diaz Kadugara, take over the next session.
Okay, thank you so much. Lady Viola, our host this morning. My name is Diaz Kadugara, and I work with MOOBS here in Mbarara campus. We have now come to the session for questions and answers. Members, feel free to put up your hand if you have a question. I would be able to pick your hand. Sorry, if you have any contribution, please feel free. Again, I would be able to pick you. I am doing a quick scan through the chat to see some of the questions that members have raised or any comments. But before that, allow me to appreciate all of you, our dear participants. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. We cannot take your time with us for granted. And to you, our speakers, Afande Bashaija and Comrade Ronald Trabe. Wow, it's really amazing listening to such a wonderful presentation. Thank you, really, thank you so much. I am seeing a question from Ronald Reagan. Thank you, Afande Bashaija, for the nice presentation. I have heard you talk about the loan in Centenary Bank. How possible is this loan on individual basis, since sometimes group loans have been a challenge during installment payments, especially youth who are in matoke farming? That's a question from Ronald. Another question is from Mary Namakura. Thank you so much. Again, it goes to Afande. Thank you so much, Afande Jerem Bashaija, for the exposition. Kindly throw more light on small-scale cottage industries in terms of regional readiness to check quality, ensure continuity, sustainability, and door inclusivity of key stakeholders in our economy. So this seems to be a very virgin and a fertile area for the youth, but they are not familiar with how best to engage with it. That is a question from Mary. I am yet to check if there is anybody whose hand is up. I also have one question, and mine is very simple. It goes to Comrade Ronald. You talked about tourism in Uganda, and indeed, tourism has been doing well. In fact, before COVID, I think tourism was one of the fastest growing sectors within our economy. Even amidst COVID, still tourism was doing relatively well. Now, having highlighted tourism in Uganda, where we feel that the youth can tap into this sector, how do you think our young people, our youth today can benefit from this fastest growing sector? Because to me, tourism is simply like a story that tourists are told, especially if it is about history and probably touring around and see these physical features. So I would like you to throw some more light how the young people can really benefit from this fastest growing sector. I am seeing somebody putting up the hand, and may I request Elisa Tumwine, I am seeing your hand up. If you can unmute and then ask your question. Elisa, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. My name is Irsa and I'm a student of MOBS, Bara campus. And I thank you for having this workshop, I may say, for us participate. And my question would be, and it goes to, and youth have been some, especially at a bank, but the fact is most youth have getting these loans because they lack collateral security. And so my question would be, if these arrangements have been put in place to help the youth on how they can grow themselves, and maybe through doing up or starting up businesses, and yet these youth, they don't have like land or anything that can work like collateral security. How are they going to be helped, and how are they thought about as far as accessing these loans? Thank you.
Elisa, we seem to have lost you, but I'm sure this question has been captured. I am also seeing a hand from Canon Safaris Limited. Let me give you a chance, and then we give the opportunity to our speakers to respond. Canon, please unmute and speak and ask your question.
Thank you for the show, everyone. I would like to ask a question here. So, what would be the requirements to obtain that loan? And also, like, do you first brief someone that obtained that loan so that maybe they could use it for the right purposes? Because, like Mr. Ronald said, we need to be having the attitudes and the knowledge on what we are going to deal in. So I'd like to know the requirement of getting the loan, and also the people who are going to get the loan first be briefed on the businesses that are going to finance using that loan.
Okay, thank you so much. In the meantime, let's stop here briefly. We shall come back for another session, a round of questions. Shall we now give the opportunity to our speakers to respond? I think let's begin with the Fund Bashaija. Afande Basaiza,
Are you getting me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Afande.
The loans. Thank you. The loan had asked the question about the loans in Centenary. The same question was from Canon. It doesn't require any requirement. Just go fill the forms from the bank. The money has put that loan for the youth. The only you need to show them is what you are going to use with that money. Am I clearly heard? Hello?
Maybe Afande before you go.
Yes, please.
These people are asking, it is all the people that are get loans, we all know you have to present something before you're given that loan to be sure that they are dealing with the right person or someone who has capacity to pay back. So are you telling us that I walk from here with my national ID, I fill in my form and then get money and move out? That doesn't sound,
Yes,
doesn't
please.
seem right. So what particular
It is
requirements
very-
away from collateral are they supposed to present?
So long as you are a youth, you qualify to get that money without collateral. You go to the bank, you inquire, they will give you more. Huh?
Okay, thank you, Afande. Shall we now have Comrade Ronald Trabe respond to some of the questions?
Oh, we
Can
have
you hear me?
Ronald.
Yes.
Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Little Ronald
Mm.
and Diaz. We are glad that our principal, Professor Balunya, has gotten time to join us. And we know he has little time. He has somewhere. Ronald, a few minutes.
Yes, my network is not so good, but I hope that you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed this because I am in a police training in Ibuabaja, and time was not managed well on our part this side. I'd thought that I would be able to join in time. This is a very interesting debate, which I personally would have wished to contribute to. I'll just make my points on this issue. As a development economist, as somebody who's been around for some time, as somebody who deals with young people, these are my comments. And I've also seen OWC in Iganga. Some young people have got very, very wealthy out of this, while those who are intended to receive the benefits have not. To me, what we need to do as a country, first of all, let everybody go to school. It's very, very important to make sure that nobody should drop out of school if they, and what does that mean? This country, and I'm not talking about a government, but as a country, if we are going to see change, if we're going to see wealth created, first of all, put everybody in school. There is no point why young girls drop out of school. They are the ones producing at the age 14, 15. And once they produce children at that age, they can never look after these children. Such children have no inspiration. If your mother is 14 years old, who is going to inspire you? Recently, I heard there's a lady who is, I think, 26. She's now a grandmother. Her daughter of 13 has also delivered a baby. You can see poverty in our midst. Now, such people, the point is, if this girl of 13 is in school, she will never deliver a baby. I mean, let us be, as a country, be that strict. So we need both government and the communities should find a way of making sure that our schools are working. Our schools are working. That's very important. That's point number one. Point number two, those who are likely to drop out should drop out at senior 4. And when they drop out, let them go into some skilling of some sort. OWC should not look at somebody who has not had some skill. So let's OWC help somebody who is already being skilled or who is already being motivated. But I have a group of women who are in Iganga. I gave them some money, 5 million shillings to borrow, and they borrow it. And when we told them to go to OWC, they said it's too expensive. I said, why? They said, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. You know how this country works. The same thing with what is happening with Emyoga now. It has come up, the group is organized, but they're saying, no, that Emyoga money is expensive. First of all, you must get somebody to write something for you, you pay him 50,000. Now, this woman who is using capital of 200 or 300 or even 1 million, when she takes away 50,000 to pay somebody, that is a lot of money. They ever borrowed money as a group, and the interest became so much because they are patterns of paying back. But in their own circle where they borrow and lend one another, they are extremely successful. They now have about, I think, 12 million shillings, which they've accumulated out of their savings. So to me, OWC should start with people who are coming from technical and vocational institutions who have been skilled and have a certain level of knowledge. Otherwise, just youth, the challenge our youth have is that they think this is free money. And once you think it's free money, they never return it. I don't know what the performance is like. And I want to request you as researchers in the MOOPS to research into this and find out what is actually happening. Let us not speak like I'm speaking from my experience in the village where I live. You as researchers, you research into what has happened in OWC, in Iganga, in Imbarara, in Gulu, so that we can make generalizations and advise the policymakers. But as long as a policy comes up without being informed by research, we may find a problem in implementing. The intentions are wonderful. If you ever talk to His Excellency President, his intentions of making sure that Ugandans come out of poverty, you can't believe his passion for it. But when we evolve policies, like now we have a Emyoga, I am not sure whether Emyoga has been informed by policy, whether the scheme has evolved out of a policy information mechanism that has involved research, sampling out how things are being done. If not, then it may suffer the same fate as all those others have suffered, which have been introduced before. So I'm sorry I missed the debate. I would have wished to contribute to it. And as I said, I'm here in Webaja in the police college, and I really sorry to go, but I'll ask chairperson and host to kind of share with me some of the the proceedings and the questions so that I can enrich myself with the information that is provided. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, please finalize the discussion. I'm proud of you having had this session. And please, let's continue with these discussions in the community so that we can be able to improve the way things work in our society. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your time. And we can go back to the session, and maybe before we go back to Diaz, we are happy to inform the principal that we're already doing something with OWC. We're having an impact assessment study that we have gone on, and we hope it will be in position to answer some of those questions. Diaz Kadugara, you can go ahead with your session.
Okay, thank you so much, our host and moderator, and big thanks to our professor for that insightful presentation. I am sure some of the questions that have been raised in the chat, you must have at least obtained some bit of relief and a breath. Some have been hinted or on and even responded to. Before Professor came in, we had our comrade Ronald Trabe. Go ahead, unmute yourself and respond to the questions.
Yes, thank you so much, my colleague Katugaram. Maybe before I answer a few questions here, I'm going to request Vayera, Katugara, and since the principal is still on, these discussions are very good, and like I mentioned at the start, Empower Youth in Technology has an online television. It's called EIT TV, and our main viewership is young people who are at least education and can speak English, have access to internet, and can be on social media. Maybe next time we need to work out a relationship and start doing some of these sessions online on Facebook and YouTube for wider audience. And we could as well use the same platform to promote our great university move, since a university that does such initiatives deserves really a recognition out there. So I would think it's another thing we could engage in, but maybe off the discussion. Okay. Someone called Ronald Reagan asked about youth loans. Can you get them as an individual or you need to be in groups? Maybe my understanding, I have been involved so much in some bit of government programs working with operational respiration and district local government. There are some stages of the way through which you can get some of these loans. First of all, if you want to go through a MIOGA, then you will form a youth group. You group yourselves, you start saving, the government will come and top up, and then you borrow. You are there as a group, but borrowing is on an individual basis. But remember, you formed a circle, you formed a group as youth. You saved money, you put up rules as a group. Then MIOG has given you money, you're still getting the money as a group, but borrowing is, of course, on an individual basis, based on what you need to do and based on the rules the group has. When we talk of youth livelihood fund, it's on a group basis. You get that money as a group. That is how it works. But when we talk about that loan in the Centenary, that loan is on an individual basis. You as a youth, you are running a business, or you want, but this money is given out to youth who are into business. You have started a business, you're running it, and you have reached somewhere, but you want to finance it. You will walk to Centenary, present yourself, talk to them. They will ask for a bank statement. You must have an account, of course. They will ask for a bank statement. When you present it and they find your worth, they will come and visit your premise to see where you're working from. For as long as you qualify, you will get the money. Usually they prefer giving 5 million first. Once you use it very well, then they can add you. So, but that one you realize on an individual basis, it's you who determines how to go there, and it's really up to you. But then these other ones, you must belong to a group. For instance, if it's semi-okay, you must belong to a group. And then every group has dynamics on how it operates. Maybe that's my That's how I can respond to the youth group, a question raised by Regan. Someone talked about tourism in Uganda. I think that's the moderator probably. I think it's can be good. How can youth benefit from the fastest growing tourism sector? I think now this is the best time for young people to engage in tourism if you can. Where there is COVID, yes, we expect so much of bad things, but then good things are also there. You realize domestic tourism has been highly emphasized in this period. And with domestic tourism, young people can get in. But what must we do as young people since we don't have a lot of money? I don't know if there is any one of us who has heard of agro-tourism as a concept. If you have not heard about it, then you get it from me today and start reading about it. This government is promoting agro-tourism, mainly to promote domestic tourism. It's about us to go out there and profile what can be agro-tourism sites. After profiling them as young people, because we have the tools, we can even do video documentaries, filming. Let us also go ahead and guide people who have these sites, because we are looking at, with agro-tourism, we are looking at these people who are into commercial farming and are able to have at least more than 4 acres. More than 4 acres can be developed in, but at the moment, our older people do not know that actual research can be developed. As young people, like I said, we need to access information and we have it. We need to be creative enough, exploit such opportunities, agro-tourism, identify tourism sites wherever they are, document them, understand them, and start promoting them, get people come and visit, and you will make some money. So that opportunity is there. And I see Kana in South Limited, this tourism company that is being championed by young people in Imbarara here, Kana in Safaris. And the good thing, these people have joined the discussion. They do so much of documentary and filming, and they have initiated a campaign called Owituni campaign, where they will move around Ankara region, profiling interesting tourism sites. These sites will now be presented to different district tourism officers, and will even be presented to the Ministry of Tourism. And of course, they will be doing this as they're being paid. It's an opportunity for them. You realize these are small things which young people can get in without even spending so much. We have opportunities in tour guides and operators. All these young people can get in for as long as you're able to understand the concept of tourism. So agro-tourism presents an opportunity, documentary and filming, because people must watch some of these things since they are not able to move. So go visit these tour sites, capture videos, create the documentaries, start selling them to these people who are in charge of tourism, and you will be good to go. Then youth without collateral security. First of all, what I have, and I think it is Erisha who asked this, if you belong to a group, I'm going to share something more about some of these things. Of recent, several initiatives to do with financing have come up to help youth without collateral. That one has been exploited. At least in yoga, when you're into a youth group and they give you money, you will not require any collateral security, you'll get money. God Centenary get around, you don't give any collateral security apart from presenting yourself. Empower Youth in Technology a few days ago came up with a youth startup fund where we mobilize young people to just save. Once you save, for us, we will give you money without collateral security. And we got funders who gave us some money to top up. What young people save is topped up. So if you save 1 million, we can give you 3 million because the rest of the fund is contributed for by someone. So save 1 million, we give you 3 million, and you without a collateral security, you just need your friends to come in for you. You don't present anything. So the question of collateral security, according to me, is no longer the issue, because at least the government has realized that young people need money, but they don't have collateral security. That's why initiatives have been started like Youth Livelihood Fund, Emyoga. Now in the parish development model, every parish will have a revolving fund, which means every parish will have several circles created, which means if we are young people at the parish level and want to engage into a certain enterprise, because the government even highlighted some enterprises to engage in, you can form a group and you will get money through parish development model. Once you get that money as youth, you will use it without even presenting any collateral security. But of course, young people, when we talk about collateral security, we should not, of course, celebrate. We must be financially disciplined because this money is not for us to eat, but it is money to boost our business and create wealth. So we must discipline ourselves first. Then these opportunities will come. Some of us are getting them not because we are so smart, it's because we have allowed ourselves to change our mind, exploit opportunities, be disciplined, and do a few things we can afford to do. Okay. Someone talked about small scale cottage industries. This model is fantastic, and I read somewhere in the parish development model, the small scale cottage industry will at some point be emphasized. These models have worked very well in India, in England, and some other countries, not in Uganda. These are industries you can engage in. Maybe people can engage in such small scale industries, maybe especially in craft making and what. And these are industries you can even sit at home or anywhere using using traditional tools. You don't need a big space to set up one. And why small scale industry, small scale cottage industries are emphasized? You don't need so much or you don't need a lot of money to set up one. You can be a farmer, you can be a student, and you group yourselves. You set up a small scale cottage industry, produce some goods, sell within your neighborhood, and maybe in some other established markets in urban centers. I agree government has not focused so much on this, but I read somewhere in the parish development model, if we have young people who are able to group themselves, form these small scale cottage industries, the government will come in for as long as you are organized. All these programs like in Uganda are looking for such. If you're able to group yourselves and set up something, present yourselves, you will be supported. Government has not emphasized it, but they already know that it is very, very important because, like I mentioned at the start, Museveni said young people can engage in agriculture, in tourism, in small scale industries, in ICT. Already, when we talk about small scale industries, it means as young people, we can put ourselves in that area and we attract attention. I think these are some of the questions that were answered. Unless there are others in the group, maybe the moderator can guide us and we answer almost all of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Trabe Ronald. I think our host time is now over 25 minutes after midday. I think we need to wind up this, but honestly speaking, allow me express our special thanks to our dear speakers. I think there couldn't be any better choice other than you to handle this topic. And to you participants, you have been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. And back to you, our host.
Thank you, Diaz. I also take this opportunity to thank everyone that has given us their time. We know we're all busy in our different activities and tasks, but finding time to be with us is a great honor as an institution. And we are glad that we still have the principal online. And we promise to bring more sessions. We hope this was informative, and we know you've picked one thing or two that you can use. And as I earlier mentioned, if you're out there and you think there's someone you would need to address or to be part of this session, I have put the numbers on the chat. You can get to us as an institution. We are community-oriented. We want to give back to community, hear from you as you hear from us. We've given to you, and we want to also continue working with you. I am very grateful, and I hope the numbers will keep growing as we keep giving you more. as our people, because you are the community that gives us the students, and we are supposed to give back to you as you do. Thank you very much. Unless if our dear principal has to have something to tell us before we close this session. Okay, it seems he is. Yes.
Yes. Someone in the chat asked about recordings.
Yes, about the recording. If you want the recording, please share your email or your phone number. We shall send you this recording.
Yes, and also, and for the previous recordings also, if they would maybe follow us on Facebook, we are going to make them available there also for previous, I think the previous 2 sessions, yes.
I think that is all for now. Yes.
Maybe things more. I see it streamed this on YouTube. It can also be found on YouTube as well for those who would want to watch and appreciate.
Also, I have shared the contacts of Ronald and Kano Jeremy for those that have more questions to ask in relation to that. I know we do not have all the time to exhaust this, and I hope it is okay, our dear guests, you can get to these people and explain more. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead. I think, Emma, you pick those links.
Thank you all and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Procurement and Supply Chain Management. Our undergraduate programs include the Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Human Resource Management, Bachelor of Procurement and Supply Chain Management, Bachelor of Science in Accounting, and Bachelor of Travel and Tourism Management. We also offer a Diploma in Business Administration, a Diploma in Accounting and Finance, and a National Certificate in Business Administration. Our tuition fees are for the Masters in Business Administration, 2 million, and for the Masters in Procurement and Supply Chain Management, 1,950,000. All Bachelor programs, 1,001,000. Diploma programs, 483,000, and certificate programs, 402,000. The campus is located on plot 9 to 13 Mbara District Administration Office Block, Kamkuzi Road, Mbarara. Our vision is to enhance and enable our clients' productivity and competitiveness by providing relevant knowledge and skills through teaching and research. Our mission is to enable the future of clients through creation and provision of knowledge. We invite you to apply to Makerere University Business School, Mbara campus for the best university education near you. Makerere University Business School, Mbara campus was established in 2006 by the MOOPS Council with the aim of extending business and management education.